Why is it that one bad moment can cancel out 10 good ones? Well, it's because the human brain is wired to weigh negativity more than positivity. It's a survival instinct, but it's kind of frustrating in modern life. Three recent examples prove this point. Product recall I'm dealing with, Buzzkill Lightyear, and the South Station confrontation. But before I talk about how these three situations are all living in my head rent free to some extent and why I'm trying to evict them or integrate them more effectively into my memory, be sure to give this video a like. Comment what you think about all this, whether you also have a hard time forgetting negative experiences. Subscribe for cultural commentary and rants from a man caught between generations. And last but certainly not least, feel free to join me at the Zillennial Nexus Point Discord. Link is in the description below. Alright, so first, I want to talk about what got me thinking about this recently. I have several Anker power banks. For those of you who don't know, they're a company that manufactures power banks, charging bricks, cables, etc. And for the second time in 3 years now, I have a power bank that was affected by the recall. Yes, it's been over 2.5 years since the last Anker recall I had to deal with, and it's been almost 2 years since I bought the one that they recalled, and it's been working fine since January of 2024. I was especially excited to make it my default with the built-in USB-C cable for when I got an iPhone with USB-C. Now, since I got a USB-C iPhone, I've kind of gone between that and the tripod MagSafe one I have my phone on right now as I'm recording this. Wish I had a little mirror so I could show it to you. But now I'm back to taking that off of the little tripod I have set up and carrying it around wherever I go and using it to charge my phone and my watch rather than just leave it on the tripod mount indefinitely. Yeah, what really made me start to reconsider buying Anker power banks for family, Christmas, and birthday presents, or for myself, was that there was this whole process I had to do where I had to track down a permanent marker and I had to write recall and the day I submitted the pictures of it to Anchor after confirming with the details that yes, it was an affected model, and yes, I had proof of purchase. So yeah, that whole process is kind of annoying because I'm like, shouldn't proof of purchase be enough? Well, I guess they also have to make sure that it's actually disposed of and I don't just keep using it while claiming the $45 refund, which is silver lining, I'll admit. But yeah, it feels good to know that $45 is coming back in my pocket soon. In the meantime, though, I have to hold on to a power bank I can no longer use because apparently it's a fire hazard. I'm gonna keep it in a bag with some other stuff with lithium ion batteries I'm planning to recycle at Home Depot at some point, like the Freebird shaver. Yeah, I decided to recycle that at the battery recycling they do at Home Depot, along with this game controller that is unreliable AF, and another redundant electric shaver. Well, all that said, even though I'm going to get the $45 eventually as a refund, the hassle of writing recall in the date on the product itself and having to not use it anymore when it was very useful to me honestly makes me not want to buy Anchor products anymore because who knows if the other ones I have are going to start being recalled for some defect. Again, over a year and a half after I bought it. Actually, almost 1 3/4 of a year since I bought it. You're telling me only now they discovered this problem? Maybe I should just recycle my other Anker power banks ahead of time and just keep the one that I have for my pocket and the one that I have for my MacBook. No, wait, that one's an Anker one. Oh, I guess I'll hold on to them and see what happens. Anyway, another recent negative experience I told you about. I know I said I milked for everything I could on this channel, but I'm going to talk about him again. Buzzkill Lightyear. As I said in my video about that, the theater experience was ruined more by Buzzkill Lightyear's hypocritical shouting than the people he shouted at. As I said, I understood his frustration, but his behavior pushed me closer to staying home permanently. And this was the first weekend after I had signed up for AMC Stubs A-List. Eventually, I rewatched Toy Story at home. The scale felt a lot smaller, and I missed the shared magic of the movie theater experience that Al Ruddy emphasized in Planet of... No, not the... That's the movie he went to see and then talk about the experience with his girlfriend after the fact. But in the show The Offer, he did that. For those of you who don't know, Al Ruddy is the producer of The Godfather. The Offer is all about how he made the movie, which is almost as dramatic, if not a little more, than the actual movie itself. Anyway, I experienced the magic that day with The Long Walk already, but Buzzkill Lightyear honestly made me not want to go back to the theater, even if there was a possibility of a repeat of the Long Walk shared experience. Now, what I realized was canceling A-lists would mean fewer escapes from my mom's psychotic cleaning frenzies. So I guess you could say I would rather be annoyed by Buzzkill Lightyear than my mom's psychotic cleaning frenzies and not being able to use the bathroom or the kitchen whenever I damn well please. Sometimes negativity almost drives you away from something, but you have to recognize the larger picture and the larger pattern and not let one bad apple ruin a worthwhile experience or scare you away from something useful, because I recently discovered that subway fare is the same as long as you don't exit the station where you get off at. My sister confirmed that for me, so I'm going to start using the subway for getting around Boston where possible. I'll talk more about it after I actually do it, but I just realized as I was recording this that I shouldn't let public transportation horror stories keep me away from that, because I'm reasonably certain that the majority of the time everything goes smoothly, but if they have a bad day, everyone hears about it. But that's a topic for another day. Now, something that made me never want to go to a certain place again was the South Station confrontation with the South Station food court. For those of you who haven't seen my video about my Labor Day weekend in Boston, I was waiting for my McDonald's apple pie. A stranger asked me to buy him food, insisting he wasn't going to use it for drugs. I declined because I don't know him, and after I declined, he called me Jeffy's bad word. Look up the SML movie of that title for yourself if you want to know what word he said. I'm not risking channel suppression by actually saying it here. But yeah, as a result, I didn't even enjoy the apple pie, and my problem wasn't necessarily that he called me Jeffy's bad word. If you know what the word actually is, I don't think I have any right to claim offense to it, but what I really worried about was that that guy would escalate the situation because he was willing to use such derogatory language. And because of how my experience with the McDonald's apple pie was completely ruined by that guy, I decided to just avoid the South Station food court altogether. So yeah, when I get off my train, I turn left or right. I do not go through the food court or the building that's open to the public. Okay, I actually stepped back in there yesterday as I record this on Monday. That was just to check out the fair vending machines for Charlie tickets and Charlie cards because of the subway exploration I have planned. Just thought I'd know where I could buy Charlie tickets for future use. But yeah, I'm not sticking around for anything to eat there because I do not want to have to deal with someone asking me for to buy them something and then being called a slur when I politely decline. And here's the reason why ultimately I have no problem skipping the South Station food court. They don't have anything that I can't get by just heading to the Boston Common or somewhere else in the city. Is there still a possibility someone might try asking me to buy them something there? Yeah, that's technically physically possible, but it's a lot less likely, so I'll take my chances somewhere else. Ultimately, with this, some negative experiences are actually worth letting dictate behavior if the downside outweighs the benefit. Yeah, ultimately, negative experiences linger because they burn stronger in memory than positives. Not all of them deserve the same weight, though. Buzzkill Lightyear, my solution is to just move on and don't let him ruin something that's meaningful. The Anker recall, I'm going to let future trust or lack thereof guide my decision whether to buy another Anker power bank ever again. And as for the South Station confrontation, I think it's wise to avoid that food court because, again, okay, I lied earlier. They have Auntie Anne's pretzels there. I would love to be able to enjoy Auntie Anne's pretzels, so maybe I'll give them another chance. Maybe. Other than that, I don't lose anything by skipping that particular food court and going somewhere else in the city, because when I was walking around yesterday, I found two McDonald's's, and oh my god, there are so many Dunkins. The memes about Boston running on Duncan are 100% true. But yeah, negative experiences are sticky. The real challenge is sorting which ones should change your behavior and which ones shouldn't. So I'm going to wrap it up here for the video. You let me know in the comments, what's a negative experience that changed the way you think about something? Did it stick for the better or hold you back? I'd like to know. Make sure to also give this video a like if you enjoy it. Subscribe for cultural commentary and rants from a man caught between generations. And last but certainly not least, feel free to join me at the Zillennial Nexus Point Discord, where we can keep this conversation going. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon.